One series will get a Joker that's beating Robin to death with a crowbar, and another series will get Joker pregnant with Clayface's baby.
It's such an extreme scale.
But you know how we work with scales. Welcome to Tairimo Boys Podcast. I'm your host Cody. With me in second chair is the boy I know with the largest Deadpool comic collection. It's Jeremy.
Got that right. Fun fact, I just finished another comic today.
You get him, Jeremy. With me in third chair is the boy known for his witty fourth wall breaking quips. It's Ryan.
Up.
Today we're starting what's called Deadpool 3 weeks because the new Deadpool movie is about to come out by reviewing the first Deadpool movie, Deadpool. Did I say Deadpool enough times?
Can never be enough times.
So, Jeremy, when was Deadpool first shown on screen?
First shown on screen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Definitely not in X-Men Origins.
That was 2009, right?
I believe so. I don't quite remember. It was around there.
But we,
It's a little fuzzy.
we like to pretend that movie doesn't exist.
Yeah, what movie? What Deadpool? His first official appearance was 2016. That's as far as I'm concerned.
So does Ryan Reynolds.
Good point. As we see through the movie many times.
Well, Ryan Reynolds also wants you to forget about Green Lantern. So, there you go.
For good reason.
There's just some foreshadowing, by the way.
Foreshadow.
So, in 2016, we finally got a serious Dr. Evil quotes Deadpool movie with Deadpool 1.
The way he was meant to be.
I think the way he was meant to be is with an R rating, and we finally got that.
Yes, sir.
Just like with Logan. And if you haven't noticed, the R rated superhero movies tend to do really well.
Gee, I wonder why.
And as a friendly reminder, Morbius was rated like PG-13 or something.
Still haven't seen that movie.
Oh no, he hasn't seen Morbius.
No Morbin time for me.
But anyways, Deadpool 2016, 108 minutes long. This movie was like extremely low budget, 58 million. It ended up making 782.8 million. So it was a smash success. Ryan Reynolds even threw a whole bunch of his own money behind the whole thing. He was heavily involved with the project, even writing it, because he felt like making it up to fans after X-Men Origins.
Which we appreciate. We the fans.
So here's your question, Jeremy. Did you get it right this time?
Oh, yes. A masterpiece, in my opinion.
This is also going to be your first thoughts.
Greatest movie of all time. Also, first thoughts.
Ryan, your first thoughts?
First of all, I think Jeremy owes me money for that.
Here's your penny, Ryan. Here's your
Thank you.
penny.
Thank you. Secondly, I love this movie. It's one of the greatest comic book movies ever made. Funny as hell. A rip-roaring good time.
I'm agree with you on all that, especially the rip-roaring good time part. Deadpool is a character we wanted like seriously played on the big screen for like ages, because the fourth wall breaking is just it's so Tairimo Boys certified fun.
Yes. Actually, speaking of fourth wall breaking, there's a comic called Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. If you boys haven't read it, it is a great read. It's a interesting story. Little spoiler alert for the fans at home. If you guys don't want to hear it, skip the next 10 seconds. Deadpool actually breaks the fourth wall after he kills the Marvel Universe, and he kills his writers.
Spoilers!
You were warned.
I know. I wish he would have killed the DC universe.
Well, it kind of killed itself, Ryan.
And it didn't just fizzle out too. It went out with a bang in a bad way.
Well, it seemed to went out with drunken Aquaman outside a bar with Flash.
Pretty much.
But I mean, while we're talking about the DC universe, this Deadpool, the franchise was originally outside the Marvel universe, but it seems like in Deadpool and Wolverine, they're gonna get dragged into it through like the multiverse bullcrap that's been going on with like the Loki TV show.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
I
Maybe in the
dropped,
MCU.
yeah, that I completely dropped out of the MCU after Endgame.
Don't blame me one bit.
But anyways, talk about the movie. What first off, Ryan? What's your thoughts on Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool?
One of the most perfect comic book castings of all time.
Jeremy?
I'm gonna shadow exactly what Ryan said. Perfect cast for this character, and you could even say he put in maximum effort.
Oh, well done.
Thanks. I'll save that one
Do you know why he's perfectly cast?
to make it up to us. And he loves Deadpool, the character.
Oh, not only that, but Deadpool's
He
kind
was
of,
tortured until his mutant gene switched on.
well, that's more of Deadpool's origin, but I know in the comics, Deadpool stated that he's kind of like part Ryan Reynolds, so it's kind of like a Nick Fury situation where Nick Fury was kind of modeled after Samuel L. Jackson, and then they eventually race swapped him to be like exactly like Samuel L. Jackson. But we didn't have to see any race swapping here, at least not till Deadpool 2.
Okay, I know where you're going with that already.
Yeah, but we're talking about Deadpool 1.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to Deadpool 2.
So the movie, like I said, it's rated R. It's full of violence. It's full of profanity. It's full of.
Egging.
There you go. Yep, there are sex scenes in the movie, but you know what? They're also in the movie.
A plethora of boobs, if you will.
Yep, it's time for Boob Bonanza.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one.
Getting out of the way early.
Mine as well. I mean, hey, it's one of the greatest parts of the movie.
Yep. So first off, Vanessa's boobs. I had to rewind and watch that scene in slow motion, but yeah, her boobs are shown during one of the sex
Yes.
scenes.
Yes,
Jeremy,
they are.
what you think about those boobs?
10 out of 10.
Ryan?
Perfect Brazilian boobs.
Well said.
Yeah, those are some pretty nice boobs. I don't like chicks with tattoos, but at least I can admire boobs.
I do love chicks with tattoos, so right up my alley.
But the important thing is, those weren't the only boobs in the movie.
No, they sure weren't.
There was an entire scene set in a strip club, and there were just so many boobs all over the place. Jeremy, what'd you think about all those boobs?
The plethora of them, if you will. 10 out of 10. All of them.
Ryan?
Nothing makes boobs better than a cameo by Stanley quickly following it.
I was gonna make a joke, or but wasn't this
What's
his?
yours? You might want to cut it in.
Uh, was this his last appearance before he died?
He died in
Uh,
2018. What else was he in?
He
What
was
came
in
after?
Endgame.
Well, it was close, but at least he got to see a lot of boobs on set.
Good for him. Good for you, Stanley. You deserve it.
Yep, those were some really fine boobs all over the place. Except they weren't in my face. That was the only place they weren't.
You can dream, Cody. You can dream.
But that was another boob bonanza.
One of the best ones yet.
So out of the way. If you're unaware, story of Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds, of course, plays Wade Wilson. He was a special forces op soldier. I don't know what the correct term for it. Fighter. He ends up getting super cancer and signs up to get it cured. Ends up getting turned into a mutant, kind of like X-Men mutants. And he ends up getting super cancer powers, regeneration just like Wolverine, maybe even better regeneration. And he goes around, kills people because it's an R-rated movie.
What more do you want?
More boobs.
You get super cancer. Do the tumors wear capes?
They do in little masks.
There's your superhero name. Super Cancer. Could you imagine?
Also, here's a fun fact. That's also the alternate title for the Flash movie.
We should probably go get checked out for cancer after seeing that, now that I think about it.
It's not a bad idea.
But here we go again with talking about other superheroes.
How shitty DC is.
Yeah. Jeremy, you're the Deadpool comic expert. How accurate is this movie to what's going on in the comics?
Deadpool stories are all over the place, but as far as an origin story goes, I'm pretty sure this is pretty spot on. Like, I've never read the original Deadpool comics, but as far as everything I've seen, it's a pretty faithful adaptation.
Yeah, something I really liked in the movie was just the origin story. It just felt so, I don't know if the word would be surreal. We're used to seeing Bruce Wayne's parents die or Uncle Ben die, and great power and great responsibility and all that. We watch a guy get freaking cancer and then get tortured. This movie really doesn't get started till like an hour in, but even then, like time's just racing by because everything's so good with it.
I would say this is one of the best origin stories of how they presented it because it jumps back and forth between past and present very, very well.
Yeah, the first, I think it's 5 minutes of the movie. It's starting like essentially in the middle of the movie. Normally I hate that with movies, and I know I've told you boys privately before, but the movie I hate most is like Pulp Fiction because I hate how that movie just jumps around.
I didn't feel like this one jumped around though. I thought they did such a well job. I knew where I was at any point in time Well, obvious for certain reasons, red suit maybe, but it was just really well done, really well paced. Even though, like you said, Cody, it took an hour to actually really get into the movie, I still felt gripped the entire time.
Yep, yep. Like I didn't even know I was an hour into the movie whenever I checked. And so I was like, where are we at? As it starts in the middle, jumps to the front, goes back to the middle, jumps back, and then progresses from there. And let me tell you, that middle of the movie, there's just so much action going on. Limited bullets and wedgies and nuts and face technique.
A lot of comeuppance, if you will, right, Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
Well, while we're on the subject comeuppance, what are your boys' thoughts on the villain Ajax?
Perfectly fine with the villain.
Ryan?
I hated this dude, and that's a good thing.
So they made a good villain, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes when I think about this movie, I think, man, Ajax is just so damn generic. Because, like, all he has is, like, enhanced reflexes and doesn't have, like, pain nerves. That's what the villain in, like, the James Bond movie, The World's Not Enough. That's literally his MO. I kept thinking that during the whole movie, but, like, yeah, Ajax is kind of a generic villain, but at the same time, like, this is an origin story, and we get him off the ground. Like, even as, like, a semi regular human, he still feels threatening, especially the at the end where he has like the double axes.
It's pretty damn strong.
We'll just chalk that one up to mutant powers. But besides Ajax, Ryan, who would you say is your favorite secondary character?
That's tough.
Yeah, yeah, I did not see that one coming.
I,
Um,
I knew that's why I
probably,
said it because I knew it'd throw you get boys off.
probably either Dopinder or Colossus, or it's three-way tie. Dopinder, Colossus, and Megasonic Teenage Warhead, with the edge given to Dopinder.
Ooh.
Ryan just likes the love story where the guy kidnaps his brother. It's very relatable.
That's so tough, but I think I would have to go between for secondary characters. I'm gonna go between Dopinder and Weasel.
Oh, I forgot about Weasel.
I freaking love Weasel.
He's so bantery. I love it.
He's such an asshole too. He's like towards the end, he's like, "I'd go with you, but I don't wanna." He just never wants to help. I love it.
I mean, would you really want to go help?
I mean, I'm not gonna fight a superhero fight if I'm not a superhero, but
There you go. There's your answer.
very relatable. See, there you go. He's very relatable.
For me, I like Blind Owl and I also like Weasel. So I just love the comic relief that Blind Owl brings, where she's constantly saying that she has like super sense of hearing, and then she's like stumbling all over the place, and she pulls her gun. I think of the action of the second movie where she pulls her gun and points in the wrong direction. Yeah, it's the second
She
one.
does that in this one.
Okay,
She
well,
does that in this one
it's
too.
both okay.
Yeah, Blind Owl was a good character too. It's funny when she was trying to constantly when she was putting together furniture from IKEA, or it was like breaking down or whatever, and then like the banter between Deadpool and Blind Owl when they're arguing about what furniture is going to go in their crack house killed me.
That they're using like all these like really technical mumbo jumbo terms. Like I don't, it's like I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. It's just so funny.
I had zero idea, but I was trying to like picture fancy furniture in my head. So like I'm gonna go with it.
But yeah, they really hit the secondary characters since everyone's naming different stuff and having a hard time.
That means we had a hell of a cast.
The hell of a cast and a hell of a script. Unlike
Yeah,
unlike Batman and Robin.
definitely unlike Batman and Robin.
Now Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong. In the comics, like a big plot is that like Deadpool is trying to like hook up with Death, and Thanos also wants to hook up with Death.
That is a series.
Oh, it's a series. Okay.
Oh yeah, when I'm telling you, there's a ton of different series out there. Like there's a ton. I just read one that's completely different from the others that I read. So
Well, I mean, just look at Batman. Every freaking series is different with that.
exactly. Yeah, it's the same thing for Deadpool.
One series will get a Joker that's beating Robin to death with a crowbar, and another series will get Joker pregnant with Clayface's baby.
It's such an extreme scale.
Like, you know how we work with scales. And here's your little fun fact on that. The year that Clayface baby comic came out, I was like this close. You can't see how this close I'm this closing, but
It sounds this close though.
yeah, I was this close of buying that in person and shipping it to Ryan as a Christmas present.
When was this?
I think it might have been last year. Hold on, let me look that up.
Because I remember you were saying something about you had a Christmas gift for me.
Oh,
Is that it?
no, that would have been the year. No, you're gonna love this next Christmas gift. Okay,
Is it?
this next Christmas gift is like a serious gift, not like Clayface baby comic.
Not like Two Faces, baby.
I can't mention on the air Cody's Christmas gifts to me.
Here's a hint, though. It involves furries, steam, and Hitler.
Oh my god.
Piece of that, what you will.
Furries. Did you say Steam?
Yeah,
Like like
the video game
boiling
platform.
water Steam or
No,
the
like
website?
the video game platform.
The video game platform? Furries, Steam, and Hitler.
What a combination.
This is the weirdest game of $1,000 pyramid ever. Normally, this would be a weird digression, but this is oddly apt for a Deadpool review.
Yeah, spot on.
Tune in next week for our comic series, boys, where we review the Pregnant Joker comic.
That is wild.
Don't you boys just love current year? Okay, let's get back on topic. It's time for some boys in action.
Yes.
Jeremy, if you were in this movie, where would you die?
And I'm Deadpool?
Yeah.
My goodness, I've never had such a good feeling. Boys, I survived this one. It may be generic, but I'm Deadpool. Damn near unkillable. Also, it's my favorite movie of all time and my favorite character of all time. So I'm surviving this one.
Good for you, Jeremy.
That's a first for me.
Is
I made it to the end.
Maybe. Yep.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep, that's a first.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Ryan, where would you die? And I want to remind you, you're Deadpool in this movie, so the early parts you don't have super regenerative cancer, and the later parts you do have super regenerative cancer. Because I know you struggle with that.
I struggle with super regenerative cancer.
Well, you did at the beginning of the movie, but you struggle with the superpowers part when we ask these questions.
I'm going to also say I make it to the end.
There we go. 2 survivors.
I wanted to say I'd survive to the end, but I think I'd survive like close to the end. Like I think Ajax would catch me with like the double axes and chop my head off and throw everything into a vat of acid.
You wouldn't want to regrow your body?
Well, I would, but I don't think it'd be possible.
Oh, it's happened.
Okay, well then I'd survive this.
Yes, you would. You got beheaded, but you survived.
Okay, well apparently I'm invincible too, so there you go.
Damn near. That's a 3-way survival. That's a record.
Well, it appears we're boys in actioning unkillable character.
Yeah, pretty much.
It appears we're all part of a 3-way survival.
I see what you did there.
Well, I'm gonna step it up. Yeah, I'm gonna step it up and say a 3-way DP. You had all this time to make a DP joke, Ryan, and you didn't take it.
I know.
I was waiting. That's low-hanging fruit right there.
Okay.
Unintended?
Pun intended.
Okay, well, if we're gonna be stupid, then I'm gonna be stupid. Ryan, would you let Vanessa peg you?
No.
Jeremy.
God damn it! I knew this question was coming.
Unintended?
I knew it. Slightly, but no pegging.
Yeah, the butt stuff inside me is a no-no.
She's hot as, but no.
Did you know no square?
That's my no square. This really does feel like a Deadpool review. Good grief.
I can't wait to write the description. Listen to the boys talk about super cancer, pegging.
EP?
Okay, let's clear this out with some fun facts. First off, if you're unaware, Ryan Reynolds did a bunch of Make-A-Wish stuff with this movie. He would visit kids in the hospitals dressed as Deadpool and give them world premieres of the movie. He kept the costume after the movie, by the way. And another fun fact, there's supposed to be over 100 Easter eggs throughout the movie of different
There's
stuff.
a lot.
Yeah, it's the machine guns Easter eggs at you. You've got Green Lantern trading cards. You got the Wolverine Origins Deadpool action figure. I know in the comics, apparently he calls his swords B and Arthur. And early in the movies, apparently wearing a B. Arthur shirt.
But you could rewatch this movie quite a few times and you'll still never catch all the little Easter eggs.
Yeah. Now, hold on. Jeremy, you've probably seen Deadpool 2 like a million times. I noticed in like early in the movie, Deadpool's wearing a Adventure Time watch. Doesn't he give that to someone when he's dying in the second movie?
Believe it or not, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it
Yes.
Okay, well Ryan knew.
though. Right off the top of his head too.
So it's just like little stuff like that. Now that's a call to call back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I've got like one final question I'd like to ask. Would you take the super cancer regenerative powers?
Do I have to go through the torture?
Let's say yes.
Uh, yes.
Ryan,
No.
I'm gonna go with yes. If you remember, I said no with Wolverine because I didn't want the claws sticking through my skin, but with these, you don't have the claws sticking through your skin. It's in X-Men Origins where you got katanas coming out like Baraka.
Well, shit. I have survived some crazy women. I can take a little bit of torture to become immortal.
Whose fault is that, Jeremy?
Definitely my own.
All right, Jeremy, pass Top Gun to you.
Boys, I gotta ask it. Favorite scene?
There's so many. That's why I didn't ask this question. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to be like, oh, I want this scene. No, I don't want this scene. It's a good movie overall. It's too good.
Is it
Um,
too good to pick a favorite scene?
yes.
Okay.
I'm,
All right.
I'm trying to think. It's like, should it be this bar scene where Weasel's shitting all over Wade, or should it be like the final fight scene? Should it be when Colossus is hiding Gina's boob from the camera?
That's a great scene too. Yeah, you know what? Fair enough, Cody. Ryan, do you feel the same as Cody, or do you have a favorite scene?
I will give you three.
Okay.
All right. Bullet countdown.
Oof.
The scene in the cab where you find out Dope Hinder's got that guy in the trunk, and Deadpool is yelling, quote unquote, at Dope Hinder, and then whispering how proud he is of him. And three is the scene where he goes to the mansion to get Colossus, and it ends with him telling Negasonic, "This is a nice house." It's weird how I only ever see two of you. It's like the studio couldn't afford another X-Man.
That is hilarious. Fun fact about that: that is Fox was very stingy on who they let in the movie, and those were the two choices they went with: Colossus and Negasonic beating Page Warhead.
I read they were kind of thinking Cannonball instead of Negasonic, but they ended up going with her.
You know, I don't know if I could honestly narrow it down. I would lean towards Ryan the scenes you said, specifically the first two. But then, like
Huh?
as I recount the movie, I just there's no way I could pick a favorite scene. It's my favorite movie after all. So, all right, well that clears that up. All right, next question. This might be a little bit more simple. Favorite death?
Ajax's death. It's Ryan's beloved just desserts, and it's like I love that. I mean, you know what's coming because Colossus is given the you got 4 out of 5 hero moments, and you know it's gonna be number
Start
five.
going on and
Like,
on.
yeah, as soon as he starts drawing on, he shoots and kills him.
Ryan, what you got?
I'm also gonna go with Ajax, not just because of the comeuppance, but also because of how he does it during the speech.
Whew. See, I'm stuck dead center between two. It would be that one, and this one is off screen, but it's a Zamboni scene.
Yeah, I was gonna go with that one too.
Can you even die to a Zamboni?
I don't want to find out. I mean, those things got to be heavy, so I
Well,
imagine.
yeah, but I think it'd be kind of like a bulldozer on ice type situation where it's just it catches you and just pushes you. You don't go under it.
Just keep scooting them
Hold
along.
on, I want to look that up.
As
Where
a giant
is?
hockey fan, I'm sad I don't know that.
Hold on, where's my co-pilot at?
If
Can
there's an
you
OSHA video,
die to
somebody
a
died.
Zamboni?
Hey Siri.
It might be time to move on to a new topic. Let's start over. I apologize, but I don't have any information about dying to a Zamboni. Thank you for understanding, prayer hands.
What the?
I wonder if I even spelled Zamboni right. Well, first off, I spelled that wrong. Hold on. Improper machine operation maintenance is dangerous and could result in injury or death. Okay, I don't think these answers are
That's not very
serious.
clear.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to find out on our own.
Let's test this out.
Anything else, Jeremy?
It's not so much of a question; it's just an honorable mention. When Deadpool starts going through and killing all the gangsters to work his way up to Ajax, when he's torturing the Mexicans or beating them around, and he screams out, Donde está Francesca? I lost my shit because it's supposed to be Francisco, not Francesca.
All right, Ryan, pass the topic on to you.
I was gonna say favorite Deadpool one-liner, but I think we already know what Jeremy's is.
I might have mentioned one of two.
All
Anytime he
right.
mentions chimichangas,
Uh-huh.
and this one specifically is what was it? Time to make the chimichanga, or time to make the chimichangas. Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm surprised that he didn't mention chimichangas more.
I was surprised too, but just to hear it that one time was enough for me.
I'm gonna have to go with whenever Colossus handcuffs him to him with like the shackles, and he cuts his hand off, and you see the blood spray in Colossus's face, and he goes, "Hey God, are you there? It's me, Margaret." If you don't understand the joke, that movie's about a girl getting her period. So there you go. What about you, Ryan?
Ooh, there's a lot.
Exactly. There's just too
Uh,
much to think about.
yeah, enough more than I can chew with this question.
I think I got one for you,
Uh,
Ryan.
Go ahead.
It's Christmas Day, Dopinder, and I'm after someone on my naughty list. That was one of my
That's a
favorite
good
lines.
one. I also like when he called Colossus silver balls. Speaking of Christmas.
And speaking of silver balls, that junk punch.
Yeah. Cock shot.
Whew,
For the story of the one-legged man, the ass-kicking contest. Anything else, Ryan?
That's all I got for now.
All right, Jeremy, final thoughts?
10 out of 10. Will watch constantly for the rest of my life until my super cancer gets me.
Does super cancer even get you? I think it
I don't
kind
know.
of lives you. All right, Ryan, final thoughts?
It's fine.
Uh-huh.
Um, no, it's one of the best comic movies. One of the best comic movies of all time.
Definitely. They did not screw up this movie. I need to watch this movie more often. I end up watching Deadpool 2, and that's kind of a mistake, and I'll get to that next week, but
It is
Deadpool,
not a mistake.
it's not a, 2 isn't a bad movie, but it's got problems, and we'll talk about that next week. And the Deadpool franchise isn't going to be one of the overwhelming majority of franchises where the second one is the best one. I can tell you that right now.
It is hard to beat this first one.
But, yep, great movie. If you've never seen it, then shame on you. See it before Deadpool and Wolverine comes out. And watch Logan, too.
That one's also really funny.
Hysterical, even.
At least our review was hysterical, I can tell you that. All right, it is time to scale this and make some foreshadowing finally pay off. So you boys know we've typically got the superhero scale, but we're mixing it up a little because too much superhero scale that's the same is not fun at all. So, Jeremy, today's scale is the Dark Knight to the Green Lantern movie. Where would you rank this?
This is tough to say, but way even above The Dark Knight.
Jeremy just loves Deadpool too much.
Yep,
What about you, Ryan?
I'm gonna put it right with the Dark Knight.
that's fair.
I'll be a little bit different and put it just a tiny, 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 maybe microscopic bit under the Dark Knight.
Serious gasp.
Look, as I've said
That's
before
fair.
in our Dark Knight review, like, that's a movie theater experience I'm always going to remember. Like, I don't even remember anything about going to the movies to seeing this movie. I remember the movie was good, but I don't remember anything of the theater experience. But, anyways, definitely watch the movie.
And rewatch it.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to another episode of Tairimo Boys Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, breaking the fourth wall, and don't forget to ring that motherfucking bell. Stay tuned for more episodes.